today I'm going to do something that I haven't done for a very long time, and that is I'm going to do a little sewing project. So I've been and got my sewing machine out. I'm going to do some scatter cushion covers for Ian's new sofa. When he bought the curtains, there weren't any scatter cushions in range, but thankfully there were single pillowcases. So he's noisy dog. He's bought 2 spare pillowcases, so I'm gonna use those, the fabric off those, and fun fact, I collect fabric and vintage fabric. So I've been to my fabric store. That's a whole different video. And I found some lovely black, it's actually blackout fabric. One side is plain pink and the other is this beautiful cerise pink with orange polka dots, and I love polka dots. So I gave Ian the choice and he chose the polka dots without actually knowing how much I love polka dots. So win-win. So yeah, I'm going to make some envelope cushion covers. So I'll show you what that's all about. I hate ribbon seams, so now what I need to do is cut the seam off around the edge. Thank you, girl. Put down. And cut the seam off around the edge. There's no way I am ripping this seam. It's been done by an overlocker, and just to show you that there, the white stitching, it's overlocker stitching, and it binds the edges of the fabric to stop fraying. I haven't got an overlocker. I did have one. So now, as you can see, I have my fabric panel that is going to be the front of the scatter cushion. Oh, I've got my cushion pad, my fabric here. So this is going to be the front, and I'm going to use the pink for the back. I just need to measure this and cut it to size properly. The job's a good one. First, I need to take my hoodie off. All of a sudden, it has gone very, very hot. Actually, it's a standard size. And I can go off the width that I've actually got here. I'm making 2 covers out of one front on the pillowcase. I've actually got 16 inches exactly. So we're just going to have to squeeze the cushion pad in. It's not a very big, thick one anyway. So now I can cut this way. And that is what I've got left of the front of the pillowcase. Actually need those, but I'm going to put them to the side for a second. And here we have 2 fronts. So our cushions are 16 inches square. I'm going to need 2 halves that overlap. So we're going to do 11 here. I think this so I'm just going to cut along these spots here, slightly over the 11 inches. So I'm going to use my dots as a cutting guide. This is plain fabric. I would get my tailor chalk and cut it properly. Right, so there's the 2 halves. There, that's your front. That'll sit there. Slightly bigger than we need, but that's fine. That can be trimmed off later. And these overlap. So I'll show you from above. So we have our 16 inches there. We've lined up one side. I will seam this, and we overlap the other side, and you get your cushion through there. So obviously I will hem this as well, so on the outside it will be a nice neat line. But that's your 3 pieces of fabric to be put together. I seem to be missing a bit off my machine, so I'm trying to load a pink bobbin so that it matches the fabric. So what I need to do now is make a hem here. So I folded it once, twice, I would normally pin along here. So I don't know if you can see that. We have a lovely edge there, and that is what you'll see at the back of the cushion. Right, let's do the other one. So we have our 16-inch square. I have hemmed the edges, so now we line this up. That's one side, the other side goes here. And then sew all the way around and then turn the right way out. When I get to where the seams meet, I'm going to stitch it back and forth a few times to make that join stronger, because sometimes what happens is when you pull apart the pieces to put the cushion pad in, they sometimes pop out of the seam, so I'm just going to reinforce that seam by sewing back and forth a few times. So I've sewn around all the sides, and I'm just going to flip it now to see how it looks. And then I'm going to be sewing a zigzag stitch all around the edges, as I spoke about earlier, because I don't have an overlocker, and I think this fabric is going to fray if I don't. So that's what the front looks like. Threads there, which I will snip off now, and that is what the back looks like. Put the cushion through there. Like a little envelope. So that's the back. It's done on the sofa with the other cushions. So I'll do a little update now while I'm here. So the finished room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, some tables that you've upcycled. Plywood in the corner. And footstool that you upcycled.
Yes. Still no pictures.
No, but we're gonna sort that.
Yeah.
There.